Soyez ta voix. We love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In this bulletin, we are failing as parents, says Minister. Pork sales decline. And clean water fundamental, says PM.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Atera Lendua.
Minister for Women Mereseni Vuniwaga gave a sobering message about childcare in Fiji while launching a guideline on handling child abuse and neglect. Addressing stakeholders from the government and civil society, Vuniwaga says Fiji is failing to protect the welfare of children. This is based on increasing reports of child abuse every year for the last decade.
We need to revamp the way that we protect and care for our children. It tells us that we need to be more innovative in the way that we deal with child abuse and neglect. It also tells us that we are continuing to fail as parents, as caregivers, or as persons and organizations who have been entrusted with the safety and well-being of our children.
In the first 6 months of 2020, there were 870 cases reported under the Child Welfare Act. COVID-19 has hit the pig industry, taking away 60% of the market for pork sales. President of the Fiji Pig Association, Simon Cole, says about 30 commercial farmers are now pressured with the massive stock of pork due to the downturn in the tourism sector. He adds this has prompted the farmers to slash the prices at various butchers, abattoirs and supermarkets.
The price of pork used to be $20, $30 a kilo, but it has now come down. You can buy pork now on special at about $7, $8 a kilo. Sometimes, certainly 4 or 5 months ago, you could get pork at $7 or $8 a kilo on special prices. These prices have gone now. These prices were to get rid of a backlog of pork that the whole industry had, and they were successful in doing that.
Prime Minister Borenge Bainimarama says clean drinking water is fundamental to good health and a high standard of living. He was speaking at the commissioning of the Tabuki Village Water Project in Kandavu yesterday. The project cost over $189,000. Bainimarama says his government's aim and commitment is to close the gap in the standard of living between the urban and rural areas of Fiji. He says during visits to some villages, he's noticed very crude and basic water supply systems in some instances, while others have had to bring in water by boat.
Broken water system is a health disaster waiting to happen. Water must be kept pure and safe, and that requires us to constantly monitor and assess the systems that are in place. We need to be sure that the systems are resilient and will continue to function through storms and other natural disasters. But we need to be sure that they continue to function properly even when they are not under stress.
The new system was tested during Tropical Cyclone Harold, and it emerged with only minor damage. He's also announced that the village now has a new storage tank and villagers will no longer have to carry water in buckets. The Frank Hilton organization has continued to ramp up its community support network in its bid to create awareness of children with disabilities. Community Support Officer Ashna Kumari says they have a team of audiologists, physiotherapists and volunteers who go out to remote communities. She says through the outreach program, the teams were able to identify children who are in need of help. A team is ready to go to Wanolevu next week.
So going out is basically to show that the parents, we are here. If you're not able to come to us, we will come to you for the best interest of the child. So that is why we do the northern outreach, the western outreaches, audiology, physiotherapy, community support. Our receiving office goes as well.
Energy Fiji Limited is calling on Fijians not to engage the services of unlicensed electrical contractors. Chief Executive Hasmukh Patel says unlicensed electricians are nothing but trouble for those who use them. He adds, at times, Fijians look for cheaper alternatives and engage the services of unqualified people. Patel says unlicensed electricians compromise the safety of the building structure and its occupants.
But they may not be the safest. They may not be following the rules and regulations. And therefore, EFL always stresses that if you are doing any alterations or new wiring in your homes, installing new equipment, it's always safe to hire the services of a registered, licensed electrical contractor who will go through the proper process of applying for a permit.
Up ahead, police opt for underdog tag. And youngsters impress in the age group nationals.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
The police rugby team has opted for the underdog tag in the final of the Escort Shield against Navy on Saturday. The two met in the semi-final last year, with Navy coming out as victors, edging police 26-14. Now the two defence forces are in the final and ready for the epic clash. Police Assistant Manager Felipe Sabu says Navy will be a tough team to beat because of the experienced players in the squad.
I think Navy has it all. They are the team to beat. We're going in as underdogs in this year's finals.
The Lautoka soccer team is calling fans to provide much-needed support in their first game of the Fiji Fact at Churchill Park on Saturday. The Blues kick off their campaign against the defending tournament champions Nandi, and they know it will not be an easy game. Lautoka wants a perfect start in the tournament, which will be played at different venues.
The team hasn't been performing well after IDC. There are some ups and downs with the team, with the management, but forgetting that, we are preparing for a tournament.
There is promising talent in the local swimming industry, with young swimmers showing potential in the age group nationals. The first competition held post-COVID-19 saw 21 national swimming records tumble to upcoming swimmers. National Representative Taichi Wakasama says this is a positive sign for Fiji swimming.
Yes, very much, because the times I used to do back then, they are surpassing it by like a minute or two. So really can't wait to see them as they grow up and come competing in the open age with us.
The Maroons, or the Queensland Maroons, stunned the New South Wales Blues 2014 last night to clinch the State of Origin title. The Maroons last won the title in 2017, and it was coach Wayne Bennett's first Origin title after a lapse of 17 years. Fine weather is expected to prevail over the nation with a chance of showers, especially in the east, with showers and possible thunderstorms over northeastern Vanua-Levu and northern Lau Group. And that's FBC News Now. Join us again at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. You need news you can trust. Get the facts from FBC's TV, radio and digital news at fbcnews.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth. Thank you for your time. Good afternoon.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.
Bula FM, number 2 NSR.